Nearly 20 years later, there are a few things Amazon doesn't sell. Bloomberg Businessweek's senior writer Brad Stone has covered the company for 15 years. We all know Amazon. So tell us what you've learned about Jeff and what makes him tick.
You know, he's clearly one of the most remarkable CEOs in business right now. What makes him tick? What he would say is the customer. You know, giving the customer everything they want. And being all things. And the customer these days isn't just the consumer, the shopper, but it's startups that want to run their businesses on Amazon services and developers.
The thing that impresses me about him is that he's always been willing to plow the money back into the company and take risk and do new things rather than worrying about the quarterly stock price.
Absolutely, and I found that up and down across Amazon history, back in the early days when they were, giving away free shipping on Harry Potter books, to today where they're discounting all sorts of products.
Your book is full of such rich reporting about his management style. He has 90,000 employees, and yet you say he's involved in every little detail. How so?
Well, right, you'd almost call it Steve Jobsian, right? Because his standards are so high, and he just doesn't tolerate anything less than excellence. He spends most of his time, I believe, on the newer businesses like the Kindle and the Kindle Fire. But he has this incredible ability to disperse his time across all Amazon's businesses and to audit very selectively. So one thing I write about is how he'll send question mark emails to employees just when he gets a sense that some part of the business isn't working.
Well, his email address is public to anybody who uses Amazon. It's jeff@amazon.com. He responds to those, forwards them, as you say, with just a question mark to managers. But what about his style? I mean, you say some of Jeff Bezos' greatest hits about when he walks into a meeting and he's not happy. We made them into a graphic that he says, "Are you lazy or just incompetent?" This is to some of his managers. "I'm sorry, did I take my stupid pills today? And do I need to go down and get the certificate that says I'm CEO of the company to get you to stop challenging me on this?" Wow, pretty tough.
Of course, and I think there are going to be employees at a lot of technology companies that are familiar with that style, and maybe it's something they have to do, to keep people motivated and innovating every single day. Now, I will say that some of those greatest hits, probably a couple years old, I think he's gotten better over time, but he's still tough.
There's also what he does when he's coming into a meeting and have you prepare. You have to read a memo so that everybody is on the same page.
I don't know that any other company does this, but they don't start meetings at Amazon with PowerPoint presentations or speeches. Everybody sits down and quietly reviews a 6-page document called a narrative, which is how Jeff actually prefers to process information.
How does he deal with complaints from customers?
Well, I mean, as we said, he doesn't tolerate them. He'll send those question mark emails. He'll respond. He doesn't like to see any customer dissatisfied.
And what does his share say with Steve Jobs and Bill Clinton and the investigative reporting that you did?
Right. Well, so there's this small section of the book which is actually about Jeff's biological father. Now, Jeff has some amazing parents. I met them, Jackie and Mike. But as it turns out, incredibly, like so many other leaders, he has this very peculiar situation. He didn't know his biological father, a man named Ted Jorgensen, who I tracked down, who runs a bike shop outside of Phoenix, and who, incredibly, didn't even know that his son was Jeff Bezos.
Wow, and what did he say?
He was surprised. He had lost track of the family when Jeff was 3, and he wanted to get back in touch.
And I thought this story was so fascinating because Jeff Bezos is who he is, and then Steve Jobs also did not know his own biological father.
So what's happened to this story as it come full circle?
Ted wrote Jeff a note. Jeff responded. It's pretty much as far as I know, but there has been some contact.